right? They know that I'm a Latina, not just any Latina, a Latina that has been through a lot of brutal shit. A Latina who works so damn hard to keep her head above water, to make sure she doesn't lose her home and her car, right? Because she's working literally to pay lawyers to get her out of this quagmire of a situation that these badly behaving people put me through. Did you think that because I was dealing with that I wasn't going to deal with you? This woman just wants you to pay her money back. After you pay me my money back, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you treat somebody like a princess when we all know what you were doing behind that person's back. Now, when people find out the demographic that you're from, they know what I've gone through. And the fact that you could have borrowed money from another woman who her demographic is, you think people are going to be happy that you put me, a Latina that is dealing with shit that probably no other woman in the United States has dealt with? You think that they're going to be happy with you? Why would you think that I care? Because you're one of those. You're just like the woman that you should have borrowed money from. You too care too much what people think about you. Both of you. That woman will never show what she really looks like. Ever. Because she cares too much what other people think about her. But the thing is, you do not affect my money when you know that I work so hard to pay lawyers. That person's not doing that. And that's because it's not just her. You have a lot of other women that you could have borrowed money from. At the time that I lent you money, 2 months before that, I said, I don't want to have anything else to do with you anymore. I don't. If these people knew the extent to which you've actually hurt me, it extends far more than money, sir. And it's provable. And you know that. When they see that you did that to somebody that, well, how the fuck was she going to protect herself against? Wishes and, Mother's Day and things like that, right? I don't care what you do. What I care about is that you've passed the 1-year deadline to pay me back. And then you passed the 3-month deadline to pay me back. I always have to get rid of these men here. This is a serious thing. This is a serious thing. I'm dealing with a man who had a real serious situation, right? Who the situation occurred 2 months after I said, no, do this to somebody else that's going to tolerate this kind of behavior from you. But he took advantage of me. This was in February of 2025. He told me that he was going to pay me back within a month. Months passed. He tells me in June, I don't want to fight anymore. Right? I tell him I want to take an assignment outside of Texas. But when nurses take assignments like that, they have to have some money to put their lodging up, to make sure that they know where they're going to sleep and everything like that. You can't just go without any money. He didn't care. He didn't care at all. He sent me a portion of what he owes me. right? And I was so serious that at that moment I told him, why do you not borrow that money from the woman that you keep staying in contact with, that deep inside my heart, I believe that you were intimate with? And that's really strange because you talked so much shit about that demographic. And you did. You did. Right? You did. Mm-hmm. Making me believe that you thought those kind of people were dirty people and this and that, right? Right? When your demographic finds out about this story, who you are, they're going to know the same thing. They're going to wonder the same thing. Why did you do this to her? And you didn't borrow money from her, right? Oh, but you thought that she was in a better position than me, right? Right? You had discounted me. You thought, oh, she's going through so much. She's never going to overcome anything. She's never, and you're just going to keep my money? No. No. So in the conversation that we had, I mean, did you tell her that you called her aside? Because this was literally during a time last summer where you said, you know what, I don't want to fight anymore. Okay. By fighting, you mean that you want me to lower my boundaries. You want me to go ahead and not have boundaries and let you do whatever you want. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. The day that you gave me a partial payment, I told you, oh, that's how much I needed to go work, sir. I need to see my daughters. I have lawyers to pay. That woman has never stood up for anything that matters in this life. Nothing. That woman can behave and act as if she is me. As if she is me. As if she is a good soul that stands up for the things that matter. When you and I both know that she has a violent background. You were a hateful lover that tried to, you believe the hate in town. Yeah. And now that I proved you wrong, along with a lot of other haters, right? You forget. And it's not my fault that that person turned into everything you thought that I was. Arrest after arrest after arrest after arrest for violence against other humans. Arrest for child abuse. Real ones that she has never fought to expunge. There's a reason for that. I told you that I'm going to be pushed to the point where I'm going to say, I want to know everything about this man, please. I want to know everything about this man, because if this man's not going to pay me back my money, at least that will be my fee to find the truth out. I want to know to the extent, and many women watching me have been in a situation where they have never, this is not about closure because you ain't going to give it to me. This is about me getting closure from all the other women who probably are waiting for closure themselves. That if we put pieces of the puzzle together, we will get a bigger, better picture, more clear picture of what the fuck was this man doing to us. I shouldn't have to take you to small claims court. I don't want to do anything that's going to affect your resident status here in the United States. But the fact that you took advantage of a woman who doesn't want to affect your resident status in the United States. And he wanted to play around with me this morning? No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. You're not. And people may not understand yet the totality of everything that you've done to me. But when they understand everything that I tolerated, everything that you said, they're going to take one look at that person and understand that everything you threw in my face about that person is untrue. Untrue. Because I have eyeballs, sir. I have eyeballs. I'm doing a live video. No makeup. Completely vulnerable. When I know that both you and that one are humans with the lowest self-esteem I've ever seen in my life. And that was my mistake. It was my mistake, but you did a very good job because you are an expert. You are an expert at going through life and giving the impression that you are one of the most confident, that you are so confident. But people who are confident and people who are happy in their lives do not do what you and her do to other human beings. I am tired of what you've done to me. I am tired that you future faked me. The minute that I tell my audience is women and men who are not judging me, what did you think? She has a lot of haters. She's not going to tell her story. I was saving you from embarrassment, sir. I can go through humiliation. That is the worst nightmare for you and her. You don't do this up until December. You don't do this. You don't tell me after you've been calling me and calling me and calling me, and I tell you I'm afraid to answer your calls. And you don't reassure me that you're not going to treat me in the despicable ways that you've treated me before. And then lie to me about it. I swear to y'all, if you heard and you knew how far this man would go to try to put me down, knowing I have eyeballs, you're not going to put me down with anyone.
Shut up.
Would be able to help you, but you know who? The woman that you thought you could do this to. At this point, I believe that both of you are fucking fake and you're fucking fraud. It's obvious. It's obvious. Nobody who is real, nobody who is authentic, and both of you claim to be authentic when you're fake as fuck. You are literally fake as fuck. The world doesn't know that you've done this to a woman. The world doesn't know that. Nobody that sees you as a good human knows what you've done to me. Nobody. And nobody knows that I deserved none of it. Are y'all able to hear me? I have to ask because one person's already asking. And I'm getting sidetracked now because now I'm worried that the sound is not good. Now, your your fake person's favorite platform. Well, she's kind of fake though, because she talks shit about coworkers that she would not put on Facebook. Right? Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah. When I tell you that I'm not afraid to tell my story of survival on every platform, I'm certainly not afraid to tell the story of a man who continues to hold my money. So you did not work for that money. I did. And I loaned you that money out of the goodness of my heart. You had no business. First of all, you had no business talking to me when you had that shit. No woman who is owed money by a man is comfortable with that man hiding himself on social media. When it's me, it's going to be like, does anybody know this man? Does anybody know who this man is? Does anybody know who this man is? Because he owes me money and now he's hiding. Nobody who is being patient with a man who owes them money is going to be okay if that man does anything shiesty to hide. Do you think that I don't have supporters in Alabama, in Mississippi, in Illinois, in Texas, in Louisiana? You don't think I have supporters that are servers? You don't think that I would make it a point? It's like, no, sir, I don't care. I don't care if the money that you owe me is the same as being served. I already told you, somebody already volunteered to serve you. It doesn't matter what job site you are at. If you have money, right? Man, I even talked to you when your phone was off. I have never cared what you have to offer me, even when you don't have anything to offer me. You would make fun of the condition in my home when you don't have one. Right? But then again, you'd make fun of that demographic, which I can prove. And there you are, doing that. That when these people know that you try to hurt me with that kind of human, you're going to realize why I was trying to have patience with you. But not you or not her and none of your damn friends are going to make me feel any kind of way that's going to keep me from telling my damn story. I'm being serious. You have no excuse. If you're showing off tattoos during the time, putting ink on your body when you owe me money, are you serious? No, this is unacceptable. That is a large sum of money. One of the definitions that people have of love is helping another human when you're struggling yourself. That is exactly what I did. You know that people are not going to like what you did to me. Anything that you've done to me. You know what? Everything is equally as shitty. Everything. That people do not understand that you are one of the most highly manipulative humans I have ever seen in my life. And that is because I have dealt with so many of them. That you are an expert of experts of making yourself seem as a good, decent human being. That's why you and her get along so well. That's why you and her get along so well. Because she has been able to go through her entire life hiding the fact that she has a violent past. But you didn't know that when you were talking shit about me. Did you? I don't care. I think what he thought was that I was going to be too embarrassed. He said, please. Please. Have you seen the video that's out there of me? I survived that shit. You could never overcome that. No. Neither could any woman that you try to throw in my face. Especially that one. Right? I have waited a year and a half almost to be paid. It was just last summer that you were trying to talk to me and you thought I was not going to put my boundaries down. Does she know that you call her the side? Does she? Because when I said, why don't you borrow money from her? You were like, well, she's just my side. And I was like, this motherfucker. You thought that I was going to be okay with you telling me that you wanted to talk to me now, right? You wanted to talk to me? Well, you just admitted to me that you have a side. Fuck you, bye. And I hung up on you. And that was the first beautiful that you ever wrote to her. She doesn't even know that the reason that she got that comment was because you were going to try to hurt me with a human that you can never hurt me with. You're never going to hurt me with a human that can never post an unfiltered picture. You're never going to hurt me with a human. Hurt me with a human that is half the woman that I am. I do not give a fuck about those hate pages. Those people are already going to be dealt with. I don't know what you were thinking, but you're not going to make me feel the way you made me feel today, on top of everything else that you've done. I have kept quiet about things that people can get deported for. But you're going to continue to act that way? Are you kidding me? You do not treat good people the way that you have treated me. You don't do that. Okay, look, we already have a hater here. Listen, let me ask the guy that this is about. Do you think that these little shitheads, right? Do you think that that's enough for me not to tell my story about you? No. That's not enough. I don't care what the haters say, right? Honestly, I want to know. I want to know the truth about you. I want to know the truth about you, because I bet you anything that person doesn't know the extent of what you've done. I don't care what you've done to other people, but I want to know what you involved me in. That's what I want to know. And when I see a commenter like this, is that a fucking cat? It's always some woman with just a picture of a cat or a dog. If I don't care about the woman that this guy was trying to hurt me with, what makes you think I'm going to care about your comments? I'm referring to two human beings that would be mortified. Literally, they will go through this entire life never once pressing live. Never once. So nobody that's coming on a survival video regarding those humans is going to stop me from telling my story about that. Right? Right? Yeah, I know him. What idiot would be making the video that I'm making about a human that I don't know? What else? What else are you trying to do to sabotage this? Hurry up, go, do it. This is me proving to him, no, I don't care about this shit. Hurry up, man. What else? Hurry up. No, you're just being annoying. You're asking questions that are irrelevant. I've never seen you before. Videos like this always bring out people that don't even have business being here. People that are so narcissistic that they believe, oh, she's going to have a one-on-one conversation with me. No. She's dealt with people like you her whole damn life. All she's going to do is put you on display and make an example out of you. Do you have anything else to say so I can go on? Do you have anything else to say? Chihuahuas. No, I'm not talking about my ex-husbands. You know, I see a lot of people here that are asking questions who have never commented before. I'm not talking about my ex-husband. I'm not talking about any of my exes. No. All right. I thank the rest of you. I really do. I thank the rest of you for not being like these people are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've had maybe just two people that are like that. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. No. If I was, no. Anybody that is my ex was part of my survival. And they were probably somebody that had to deal with the shit that I had to deal with. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for choosing a life, because the people that they were with, nobody was going to go after them. Because those people, even if put in a situation, they were never going to do the most. I know you have, Karen. Oh my God, this is not about that. This is not about that, okay? This guy thought that he could do something this morning. Right? And I kindly asked him, I said, look, this is not extortion. You owe me this money. I do not care what you do with your life after you repay me. I don't care. I just want you to pay me back. That's what I want. I just want you to pay me back. Now, from this day forward, if you make me feel uncomfortable, and I've already told you, if you do anything to make me feel like this man's never going to pay me back, or if you do what you did today to try to mess with my emotions, I really don't care. Because the money that you owe me is literally worth getting the truth out of America about you. That's what I want to know. Were you shacking up with people when you were asking me and telling me that you were broke? Things like that. You had no problem trying to humiliate me with what you did today, right? Right? You're a big, tough guy, charismatic and everything, right? Completely confident. No, you're not, right? And you thought that you, being from the demographic that you are, that you could do this to some Latina that is stronger than you, and that woman will ever be in your lives? You're crazy. You are crazy. And no to the hate pages. No, they are not the kind to participate with you. They are not. They are not. First of all, this one will tell that one to no. Mm-mm. Because that's how weak that other one is. But she's not so smart that he has to control her that way. Right? So no, if hate pages think, oh, you know, we're going to get a hold of these people will never do that. They will never do that. It's embarrassed. All right. They will never do that. And they know that the minute that they were ever to talk to the hate, I will not hold back anything at all. Nothing. Even what people would judge you with as a man, doing that to a woman. As a man, I'm not going to say more. I'm not going to say more. All right. I love you guys so much. Yeah, I'm sick of it. And the thing is, the worst kind of people are the ones that harm you when they know you've already gone through some shit. You went through 2 tragedies, dude, back to back. And I loaned you that money when I was struggling myself. When you had a whole ass woman that literally lives her life pretending to be the kind of human that I am. When people see it, they're going to know I'm not lying. And they're going to know that that woman is anything but authentic. Anything but authentic. I feel sorry for her family members. They can't even take pictures with her because she must filter herself. And you can't even see her mother's nose. Literally, even the dogs are filtered. Even everything around her is filtered. But you're going to tell me that's a strong, confident woman? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay? Do one more thing. Do one more thing. I want you to make this easier on me because honestly, there's part of me that knows exactly what's going to happen because I still care about you. But make it easy on me. Make it easy on me. Does she know that the only beautiful comment that you ever made to her was that day when you said, when I said, why didn't you borrow money from her? And you said, well, she's just my side. And you thought I was going to stay on the phone with you? And what did you do? Beautiful. I have the post where you wrote that. Does she know that in all these years, you've never once commented beautiful? And the only beautiful comment that, and I told you, I don't want to say that's mine. Does she know that? Do all the other ones know that? You should have not done what you did. And that was what you asked me to never do to you. I cannot stand me a man that does not want women to play with their emotions, but yet they can do that to the woman. This is a player of players, by the way, y'all. This is a player of players. I'm not kidding. This is a player of players. I can tell you every single lie that was given to me. And every time I forgave a human like that. And to all the women that are judging me, you really want the rest of the world to believe that you've never been a woman that has made choices that maybe she should not have made? Right. Mm-hmm. I meant what I said. I meant what I said. All right. If I have to finally say, you know what, this dude is not going to pay me back, that money is worth me finding out the truth. Because by virtue of me trying to find out the truth about you and the extent to which I and maybe perhaps others have been played, I may be saving another life that you may have been demonstrating your predation towards. Is that too fancy a word for you? Let me reword it. I may save at least one human being from being your prey. I don't know why you thought you could do this to me. I really don't. I really do not. All right. That's it. Yeah, I fell hard. I fell hard for him. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did. I absolutely did. When you are an expert at playing women, and I'm autistic and my weakness is kindness, I'm still a woman. That person met me during the highest points of my survival. He knows I am still surviving. He knows that I can outwork, out body, out mind, and out soul any of the options on his fucking roster. Any of them. And when your roster sees me, just like this one did, they're going to go all crazy, just like this one did. All the world has to do is go see how crazy she became after she became aware of me. That's not my fault. It ain't my fault that you look like that. It ain't my fault that your nose is like that. It ain't my fault that your skin is like that. It ain't my fault that you didn't bother putting any sunscreen on you for the rest of for your entire life and it shows. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault that you will never ever show a picture showing your pores. It ain't my fault that one day we see your wrinkles and then another day we don't see any wrinkles. It ain't my fault that one day your head is oblong and oval and the next day it's round. It's not my fault that your phone probably burns up with all the apps it uses to make yourself beautiful. And it's not my fault that you went into overdrive once you became aware of me. Your blame needs to be put on the man that played you, not me. Not me. And I guarantee you that every moment that you think you had with him, why do you think I'm so bothered? Because he future faked me in serious ways. Do you know that you told me that? I'm not going to put up with your shit. I'm not going to put up with her shit. I'm really not. I'm really not. And I know y'all are going to laugh at me. I know, because some of my close friends already saw. I know that when you love somebody, you love somebody. Okay. When you love somebody, you love somebody. All right. When you hear some of the insults that I was given, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, you called my bluff. Here's the preface of everything. Pay me my money. Pay me my money. I don't care who you play around with. I don't care what ink you show off. I don't care. I don't care. You know, in the very beginning, I told you that I would only lend you money if you really needed it. What do you think these people are going to say? When that time you owed you borrowed money from me, and then you got mad when I found out what you borrowed it for. That time you did pay me back. What do you think these people are going to do when they find out what you use that money for? No, what do you think they're going to do when I tell them the rationale that you gave me? Well, I can use that money for whatever the fuck No, you cannot. No, you cannot, because I told you that I would only lend you money when you had a time of need. That's what friends do. Not for luxuries like that, sir. And then you have all these women saying, oh, wow, he borrowed that money from a woman who is fucking amazing enough to lend him money. He couldn't afford that. But you weren't telling them that now, were you? Tell me when I'm lying. Tell me when I've lied in this video. Not only do I have to survive the serious things that I have to survive that these people have done to me simply because I stood up for my children, then I have to survive these haters from the public with this Tiger King energy. And now I have to survive some fucking man. Seriously. Now I have to survive some fucking man who, by the way, is so charismatic. No one's going to convince me that there is not a string of victims that have gone through the same thing. That's why I would, the money that you owe me will be considered an admission fee. Should I not get it back? A, should I not get it back? B, if you continue the shenanigans that you did today. How much more grace do you want from me? You think I wanted to do this? No, I didn't, but I had to, because I was like, this guy, he thinks I'm okay, fine. Let me show him my will. Let me show him my will. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. I really believe that you were, and this man's older than me. This man's older than me. This isn't some guy from the streets, you know, this isn't some, you know, no. This man made it seem like if he was a, you know, a responsible man. Older than me. Older than me. He's older than me. Older than me, borrowing money from me when he could have borrowed money from that woman. Right? Remember when you made fun of all the arrests that I had? But then you didn't make fun of them after you saw me getting through them, right? But then you were so surprised to find out about all the arrests that she didn't tell you about. Arrests that she's not fighting to clear for a reason. All right? I want to cut my losses. But I put my blood, sweat, and tears into working for that money. There is no damn way that I'm just going to let some man have it without at least using it. The lack of not having it as basically I'm paying for the truth. Let me see the loss. I don't need advice. I don't need advice. I don't need advice. I don't need people telling me, why don't you do this or this or this? There's things that I've kept out of this conversation that if you knew what he did to me, you wouldn't be telling me cut your losses, especially after he did that to me. Things that I would have never done to another human. You're coming for me? You're coming for me? Sir, you're a hater that got on this video? Haters that are barely getting on this video, I already mentioned that video. I already mentioned that video. And why would you assume that the person that I'm talking about is not has not dabbled in those things themselves? Why do you assume, since you hate me so much, that anybody that I am defending myself against and who I am surviving is not making poorer choices than what you want the public to believe that I've made? Why do you assume that? Why do you assume that? Why do you think that I wonder maybe that's where the money that he owes me went to? You see what I said? You see what I mean? Huh? Let me remind you, this is not the kind of guy that you can approach and be like, ooh, let me recruit you. You're the guy that fucked over Vanessa Tijerina. Let me recruit you. No. He doesn't want to have anything to fucking do with you. I swear to you. I swear to you. I swear to you. Because he is a worse human than anything you want the world to believe of me. What else? Shelby, what do these women not understand? You are not Vanessa Tijerina. You do not know who this human is. For you to come here and question the motives and say, oh, you think by doing this, he'll be more inclined to pay me back? You know what? Probably not. Probably I'm making it easier for myself because maybe I want the truth more than I want the money. How's that, ma'am? How's that? Does that answer the question for you? Does that answer the question for you? Because for some women, when this is done to them, they would rather have the truth than have the money back. Does that answer the question for you, ma'am? I am now surviving a man. I don't need advice on how to survive this man. This man on the outside looks as if he is the most confident, one of the most confident men ever. But no one who is happy in their lives and who is truly confident would make the choices that he's made against a woman who has never harmed him. All right? Y'all, I'm not going to cut my losses. All right? Cutting my losses means, you know what? I don't want my money back. I just want the truth. And at that point, that's when I'm going to tell my story. There are no losses, there are lessons. And I will not learn my lesson until I find out the truth of what I was thrown into by this man. Okay? You've seen me upset. Are my eyes even watering? No. This is a step further to getting the truth. Either I get my money or I get the truth. And frankly, at this point, I just want the truth. I just want the truth. If you all are going to remain on this page, I do not need you to openly support everything that I do. But what I do not want is for any of my choices to be discouraged upon. Because nobody knows what I went through with this man. All right. Nobody cares what Shelby has to say. Is there any other haters? Do I need to just get rid of any other haters? This lady doesn't have nothing else to do. You know, that's why she's there. Hello, hello, hello. Because I wasn't paying attention to her. I don't care about that. You know, again, coming for you. It's always somebody that has a picture of an animal. Never will go live. Just like that man and that woman that he's trying to make me jealous with. I told you, do not hurt me during the time. Do not try to make me feel uncomfortable. It was so simple. Do not make me feel uncomfortable during the time that you owe me money. But no, you didn't want to listen. All right? No, you didn't want to listen. Thank you for everybody that actually understands my frustration. And you know what? I guess up until this point, anybody that has... Yeah, if you do not understand, if it is turning you off that I have to survive a man, do you really think that I signed up for surviving this fucking man? No. Nobody wants to sign up for surviving somebody that tries to fuck with your emotions. Nobody signs up for somebody that stole your money. Nobody signs up for all the shit that I have not mentioned in this video that no man has any business doing to another woman. All right, for real. This wasn't the intended audience for this was that man. Honestly, it was that man. Nobody else. Nobody else. Now, when I don't get my money back or he continues with what he did today, yes, then my intended audience is going to be every woman. Every woman south of Canada, north of the Gulf of Mexico, east of the Atlantic Ocean, right? And from the Midwest going towards the East Coast. Yes. Don't you need to worry about them. They're not. They're too embarrassed. They're way too embarrassed, especially with the stuff that I did not mention in this video. Okay? Thank you, Sherry. I love you. I love you. Give your grandson a hug for me. All right? Thank you. Yes, he's greedy. For real. Getting the tattoos. Where's my money? Where's my money, sir? My goodness. I love y'all. Bye.